My name is Hunter Fierro, and I am spreading awareness on the red panda species. Just some general information on it. The red panda is slightly larger than a domestic cat with a bear-like body and thick red fur, which is why it's called the red panda. Almost 50% of the red panda's habitat is in the eastern Himalayas. Primarily a herbivore, the name panda is said to come from the Pali word ponya, which means bamboo or plant-eating animal. The loss of nesting trees and bamboo is causing a decline in the red panda populations currently, because much of their range is being, deforested, cut down, mainly for, human needs and other, industrial uses. Natural predators of the red panda mainly consist of the snow leopard and other large carnivores in its range. Red pandas prevent the overgrowth of bamboo forest, maintain the overall health of understories, and support a variety of species and cohabitating organisms that live in the same general environment. They are endangered, like I said before. The red panda has been listed as endangered under the International Union for Conservation of Nature since 2015. Currently, there are less than 10,000 individual pandas. Approximately 38% of the total potential red panda habitat is in Nepal. Red pandas are often killed when they get caught in traps, meant for either other animals or meant for themselves, because they are currently being poached and hunted for their pelts, which are then sold on illegal markets for trading, fur caps, coats, other things like that. Over 75% of the original Himalayan mountains have suffered degradation or have been lost entirely to human needs. So yeah, they are suffering a bit with their home, which is a primary cause for a lot of endangered species, but especially this one. So what can you do to help?
Oh,
There
look
are
at Mom, the
several
guy
ways you
from
can do your
Tower
part and
3.
help save the red panda population. Some of the biggest NGOs for this cause include the Red Panda Network and the Rainforest Trust. There is also the World Wildlife Organization, and they do a lot to help as well. In fact, the Red Panda Network and Rainforest Trust have
Yeah, that's what I
partnered
mean.
together
Power
to
Book
create a
3.
nonprofit group known as the Forest Guardians. Now, their sole purpose is actually to set aside acreage for the conservation of the red panda habitat, so the Himalayan forest, and they also do their best to deter poachers and also to educate civilians on the importance of the red panda and their significance in their environment. So by donating to these organizations, you'd be doing your part in helping save the red panda species. And yeah, guys, they're adorable. Come on. Anyways, thank you for your time.
Hello, my name is Erica Flores. In this group project, we're raising awareness on endangered animals. The animal that I chose to raise awareness for is the hawksbill sea turtle. This sea turtle is a critically endangered. It is migratory and typically lives in tropical waters. The average lifespan of this sea turtle is around 30 to 50 years. You typically can't tell how old a sea turtle is based on maturity. You can typically only go by size in order to know how old they are. The hawksbill is an omnivorous creature that consumes seagrasses, sea urchins, and small animals. For the majority of their lifespan, these creatures spend their time in solitude and only really meet up to mate. Many females use the same beaches in which they themselves had once hatched from. This is called natal beaches. Their nesting season starts between April and November. As mentioned, this sea turtle is critically endangered. They are on this list because they are typically hunted down for their stunning shell, also known as a tortoise shell. Its heart-shaped shell and the beautiful colors makes this animal vulnerable to poachers, who make ornaments and jewelry out of these animal shells. Changes to their habitat has also played a role in this animal's survival. Marine pollution, coastal development, and declining coral reefs is amongst many of the reasons that has affected the population of this creature. As you can see here in this image, It has an absolutely beautiful shell and is typically hunted down for its shell by poachers around the world. Even though it is illegal in many countries, it does still continue to happen because of how much money people are making from selling these shells from these beautiful creatures. So, some conservation efforts that are being done. The Wildlife Federation accepts donations that go towards protecting these endangered animals' habitats. The Iniciativa Caray de Pacific Oriental, also known as ICAPCO, is the only group that is full-time dedicated to preserving the hawksbill animals. They work along the Pacific coast of the Americas in order to protect the habitat that these animals inhabit. Volunteering at these organizations is a great way to help make sure that the Pacific Oriental, also known as ICAPCO, is the only group that is full-time dedicated to preserving the hawksbill animals. They work along the Pacific coast of the Americas in order to protect the habitat that these animals inhabit. Volunteering at these organizations is a great way to help make sure that they can continue to make a difference in helping preserve these animals for future generations.
Species that include the greater one-horned symmetron, yeah, and Javan rhino, one of two living in Africa, along with the white rhino, its cousin. Black rhinos are most active at night as they forage and feed on grass, fruits, and leaves. And may also try and find water sources, such as rivers, possibly ponds nearby. And black rhino black rhino adults may weigh approximately 1,350 kilograms, while females typically weigh about 900 kilograms. Generally, generally have poor eyesight and have solitary, semi-social, and territorial behavioral patterns, this, depending on the habitat that they may be occupying. The black rhino inhabits tropical and subtropical grasslands, savannas, shrublands, and deserts. They live in places such as Zimbabwe, Zambia, Kenya, Namibia, Eswatini, Tanzania, Botswana, Malawi, and South Africa, which these these environments are located in. And their scientific name is Diceros bicornis, which derives from the Greek words serrato and cornice, also called the hook-lipped rhino, as their lips are able to bring in and draw in leaves that they may be consuming, along with any leaves that are on trees or bushes, shrubs. And there are 4 subspecies of black rhino, such as the southern, central, southwestern, and east black rhino. Black rhinos, along with any other species, are non-aggressive but are far from pacifist. Situation: critically endangered. Black rhinos are facing critical extinction due to the demand of their horns in Asian countries including Vietnam and China, mainly China. Reason being, the horn is used in traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, which is used to dispel heat, blood, and disease treatments. It's also used as a status symbol, which is a shame. The demand has caused the black rhino population to drop to 2,400, or based on the information that I found. Black rhinos are also threatened by poaching within within the habitats of Africa, which has been going on since the 1970s. Poaching for the black rhino, along with any other species, is still present within this day. Another threat black rhinos are faced with is loss of suitable and safe habitats due to agriculture, logging, construction of roads and settlements, all of which are economic demands, which are driving them out. Rhinos also fall under danger of climate change due to the change in rainfall and increase of droughts. Organizations are helping to protect and preserve the entire rhino species by reducing demand in their horns, countries that are demanding the use of their horns to be brought in, forming anti-poaching efforts and collaboration by providing safety and surveillance within the help of rangers, expanding and manufacturing or maintaining protected areas that sustain the rhinos, translocating rhinos from droughted areas into more suitable areas and introducing them to a new population. Another thing that helps, sending in donations as much as you possibly can, whenever you can, if possible. Organizations collaborating to save rhinos include, all listed below: Save the Rhinos International, International Rhino Foundation, Helping Rhinos, Tusk, the World Wildlife Fund, the Schiedrich Wildlife Trust, Fauna and Flora International, Rhino Conservation Botswana, African Conservation Trust. All links to this are works cited in the right corner down below.